you come, you can be a bit more objective to this conversation. Because it goes beyond just calling teachers late at night. Some people even go as far as financially bullying their teachers. My son did not get second and I paid you 20,000. I'm paying 20,000 to be his extra teacher. You know what? I will not pay you. The person has come to teach your child day in, day out, 4-5 days in a week. You refuse to pay this person because your child whom you have raised poorly, your child who you have chosen not to show that extra parental care for, because sometimes some children are difficult, not because they are from the children of the sea, but they could be dyslexic. They could have some of that learning hindrances that maybe the child or the child obviously doesn't know. Maybe the teacher has not been able to identify. A teacher is not the conundrum. It's not the problem. It's a wholesome activity to get to raise a child. But no, some of you have taken a very beautifully ignorant standpoint to insult, to malign, to denigrate, to subjugate, and above all, to degrade your children's tutors and teachers. You're bullying them. It's little wonder how in a small school not too far from where we are right now, I got to see a child literally push the student, the teacher. The teacher was trying to lock the gate. All of you go back. Break time is over. And the child, I know children can be, mischievous, but she pushed the gate and student said, "What will you do?" Hey, Rame, what will you do? A child of about 7 or 8 years old telling an adult nearly 30, what will you do? What will you do? All right. So there you have it. Bullying. Talk about that shortly. teachers, where's your stand? The question, very simple. How do we check this particular attitude here in Nigeria? How do we discourage it? Someone took their life because parents were bullying her, a teacher. And some stats have it, and it's not just in Nigeria, it's happening all over the world. Now, some stats have it that in some countries, some teachers are withdrawing their services, right? They're changing professions because of the unfair pressure that parents are putting on them. In fact, one teacher said that these days that the parents have put on the responsibility of parenting to the teachers. Teachers are meant to guide, instill all of those great things that we know teachers ought to do. But these days, it's beginning to affect their mental health. People are now being bullied. Some of you will come with your brand new SUVs, park at the school gate and tell the teacher to come. In fact, that's the weirdest story I heard. I heard that the parent told the son, go and call your teacher for me. Go and call your teacher for me.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeria Info FM. Nigeria Info, let's talk.
And now, hello Port Harcourt with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
So 017-923-0003, 0817923-0007, 0817923-0003, 0817923-0007. There's a call screener. Please use the call screener. Drop your name, your location, and then we'll get to have a conversation with you here in the studio. WhatsApp 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. Please don't worry, I'll repeat the numbers as we continue the program. At Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on Twitter. X, that is, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. All right, join the conversation. How can we checkmate this bullying by some of you parents on teachers? How? My mind is still running amok at some of the stories I've had to listen to, watch, and read in recent weeks. Tom is in LLA. Tom, good morning to you, please.
Yes, good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
Jude, this is a man. I like the list that you have jumped for I and I.
Welcome.
We have been sitting down for so long and too long. We need a redemption, you know. Big up to you, Jude. I like it when you play a reggaeton like this. It can make Iron Man a Levite, you know. So I tell say, big up. I say big up my chest for you. Enough respect. You see, the people them, they not care about them teachers. Even the big man was taught by a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So if you come in a school with your SUV and you won't come intimidate them teachers, they're not like a thing like that. See, they could give respect to them. Enough respect to them teachers, because even the Bible says the teachers them need their wages. Greetings, my man Jude.
Greetings to you. Thank you very much.
From Big LA, you know.
All right, welcome. Thank you very much, Tom Polo. All right, that's Anacho from Alu on the line. Anacho, good morning to you, please.
Yes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, please.
Please, I was so close to my radio, so I don't know the matter on ground this morning. I want to contribute. Please.
Anacho, we're talking about parents who are bullying teachers, and we're asking, how can you checkmate parents from bullying their teachers?
Okay, bullying on their teachers.
Yes.
Bullying on their teachers.
Yeah, bullying teachers, yes.
Okay. That's a very wrong attitude. Yes. Bullying on their teachers are very wrong.
So what do you think the society should do to parents who bully teachers, who come to school and, you know, sometimes even beat teachers because teachers represented their students?
Okay, you mean what to do to them?
Yes.
How do we stop that?
Yes. How do we stop it? How do you start that? That's the conversation.
Okay. Okay, I'll get back to you right away.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Jackson is speaking to us from airport, and we have a Zion on the line in GRA. Jackson, welcome. Oh dear, that's a drop call scenario. Zion. Oh, also a drop call scenario. Apologies to all of you. Very, very sorry. These are the service provider issues that we'll be talking about next week. Don't worry, it's going to be a very robust conversation. No, let me correct that. Robust set of conversations, because it's not going to be one conversation about this matter. But anyway, WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. That's WhatsApp. And Telegram, 0809-030-6416. We're talking about bullying. Parents bullying teachers. How can this be checkmated? This is coming off the back of a very disturbing story of a teacher, not in Nigeria, by the way, a teacher in the West who took her own life. Sorry, South Korea, I beg your pardon, who took her own life because she couldn't face the pressure that was being placed upon her by parents, calling her at night, asking her to improve her work levels, telling her she's not doing enough, telling her the children are not responding, that she's failing as a teacher. Jackson is back. Jackson is speaking to us from airport. 9.3, good morning, Jackson.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
Very well. Thank you for calling, please.
Yeah, this is a very interesting topic. Teachers and parents who have almost lost our values. You see, Hillary Clinton, I quote her, the former First Lady of the United States, he said, the home is the first and the most important classroom of a child. So when parents have given their responsibility to the teachers, it becomes an unfortunate situation. The teachers are only meant to add value to the children. It's not their responsibility to mold the character of the children, because it starts from home. Even the Bible tells you that train a child in the way he goes, and when he grows up, he will or she will not depart from it. He didn't say the teacher should train a child. It's the parent.
Interesting.
For crying out loud, you have caught children. In secondary school, caught children. A friend of mine told me that it has help was when they give her money to go to school, they have a lodge inside a bush behind the school where they all stay until they were caught and expelled.
That's terrible. Anyway, Jackson, thank you very much. Let's go on a break. We'll come back with more conversations.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria Info.
have to know. Teach him, but teach him gently if you can. Teach him that for every enemy there is a friend. He will have to know that all men are not just, that all men are not true. But teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero. That for every crooked politician there is a dedicated leader. Teach him that if you can, 10 cents earned is of more value than $1 found. In school, teacher, it is far more honorable to fail than to teach. Teach him to learn how to gracefully lose and enjoy winning when he does win. Teach him to be gentle with people, tough with tough people. Steer him away from envy if you can, and teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Teach him, if you can, how to laugh when he is sad. Teach him that there is no shame in tears. Teach him that there can only be glory in failure and despair in success. Teach him to scoff at cynics. Teach him, if you can, the wonders of books, but also give time to ponder the extreme mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and flowers on the green hill. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone else is doing it. Teach him to listen to everyone, but teach him to also filter all that he hears on the screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Teach him to sell his talents and brain to the highest bidder, but never to put a price tag on his heart and soul. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Teach him to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will always have sublime faith in mankind, in God. This is the order, teacher. But see what best you can do. He is such a nice little boy, and he is my son. Abraham Lincoln's letter to his teacher. Abraham Lincoln didn't carry a cane, SUV, horse, guns, koboko, whips, and threatened the teacher to put the knowledge into his son's skull. Then why then are some of you doing so? Some of you listening are actually bullies, but you don't actually realize it. You think that because your financial stability affords you certain privileges, you're only doing what is best for your children. But let me correct that impression, if I may. You are a bully. You are a bully if you think that it is only fair for you to come pick your child, and when you see the teacher, you scowl at him for not giving your child 10 over 10, and then you make sure that he sees you speeding by in your comfortable vehicle. It is bullying when you walk into the schoolyard and you speak in a condescending tone, as though you are speaking to a help in front of your child. You're a bully. You're not teaching your child any manners. You are part of the problem. And that's what we're talking about this morning. WhatsApp now, 009-030-6416. This one here says, this from an anonymous. Okay, all right, I should read this one because we have a lot of people who try to be anonymous. I don't have a problem with a teacher disciplining my child, but harassing and abusing my child is what I won't tolerate. I've seen pictures of marks on the young child's bare body after the teacher flogged the child. If a teacher did that to my child, the teacher's going straight to jail. Now, if a teacher is being put under unnecessary pressure and being subjugated to abuse by a parent that expects the teacher to perform miracles, why is the school not stepping in to protect their teachers? Teachers have no business taking any parent's call at 9 or 10 p.m. You have close work. Enforce boundaries. Yes, boundaries. But hey, some of you are still going to call your teacher, or your son's teacher rather, at 10 p.m. or even worse, 6 a.m. in the morning. We'll be back with Headline News.
Headline News, Nigeria Info on
92.3
08179230003, 08179230007, 08179230003. We have Aniebet on the line. That's on WhatsApp now. Aniebet says, "Hi, Ju, good morning. Bullying has been a very serious culture in this country, particularly as more parents become wealthy and they're taking their children to more expensive schools. It's almost a challenge as a teacher to speak to parents about the erring ways of their wards in school because they've paid millions of naira. They expect perfection. A lot of teachers are going through hell, Jude, in teaching their students these days in Nigeria." Kurt is on the line. Kurt is in Choba. Let's get to say hello to Kurt. Kurt, good morning, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I think that in a setting where teaching and learning are going on, you cannot rule out little punishment completely. But when it happens, some parents seek offense as if they have for. Some children today learn how to sweep as a result of you pay this pay, sweep this portion of the classroom. They never done it before. It's also learning, and they have learned. But when the parents who have not done that to a child before and speak it, you will see it as a big punishment they have given to the child. There is nothing to compliment any parents going to school to abuse teacher or to bully. If I'm a teacher, if you bully me, whatever I try to do, whether it's wrong or good, it's good. On that day, you will reap what you sow. So anybody who is engaged in bullying teachers as a result of giving a child little punishment, resist from that. And Mr. Kurt.
All right, thank you very much, Kurt in Choba. Welcome. All right, once again, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. X is Twitter, by the way, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. Good day, Jude Ibianga Iyala says, the problem Nigerian teachers are going through in their prospective schools is more than can be discussed here. Imagine a scenario where an adolescent will come into a GSS1 class to flog a teacher for flogging her younger sibling over a particular assignment she refused to submit for consistency for 2 weeks. And then the principal of the said school was blaming it on the teacher. What am I reading here? For not flogging her after constant interrogation. What's going on? Zion is in Jerry. Zion, good morning to you, please.
The concept of school has been misunderstood by this present generation. Look at the letter Abraham Lincoln wrote to his son's teacher. How many parents of today have ingredients in their mind towards their son's teacher or their children's teacher? How many parents? Rather, they saw teachers as a forbidding, God-forsaken kind of profession. Why did we shut down TTC, Teacher Training College? I want to ask you, mention one campus of TTC in Port Harcourt, River State, and in Bayelsa. Mention one. What do you expect? The truth is this. The essence of schooling was for parents to go and dump their children for their children not to give them problem at home. Confucius was the first teacher ever in the history of mankind. He was blessed to have a very big apartment which his parents left for him upon their death, which was his inheritance. And he loved children. So he just welcomed them home. And parents saw, see these guys have 10 children, they go carry a go for house. Let the children, let them worry us. The first teacher, and he taught them history. Most of us, we don't go back to historical facts. So that is why most of our behaviors are just so skewed. So if you know the history of a fact, history of what
Zion, let me ask you. Zion, let me quickly ask you before we get to the next caller. How do you think we can checkmate this attitude of parents bullying teachers in this country?
Parents are the ones bullying their children. They are tired of bullying their children. They handed over the children to the teacher. Their children become so naughty, so insolent. Mankind, prophet, pastors, apostle, teacher. The other one is what again? Teacher was there. He asked any of them to go and bully anybody. But when parents can no longer take care of their children, they are seeing the error of their children. What do? They send them to the teacher. How come when most of our children we are so stubborn at home, we say send them to boarding school? How come to that? Send them to boarding school. You are too stubborn. You are going to boarding school. Why don't you send them to the Hay Hills or Sugar Ivory Coast or whatever you want to send other children to? We parents are the problem. And let us be honest to ourselves. It's because those children does not have our DNA as a father. We became so rejected. We became so furious. We became so confused. Who is this child in my house? Send him to a teacher. I want to beg us. Let us respect teachers. This teaching profession is a calling. And most of us going to teaching profession understand that. Don't go into teaching profession because you don't have a job, because you are jobless, no food to eat, government employee, and you go connect, you won't pick up. You are going to cause small problem. Teachers are those who have passion, empathy, underline that word, to transfer knowledge to a child. Who are see most of those teachers who taught us when we were children? They were so concerned. Oh, don't write it like this, write it like that. How many of today's teachers are so patient?
I can understand that narrative, but it still doesn't, answer the question of how do you check these occurrences of bullying by parents. Yes, maybe you want to question, the passion for the job, the teaching profession by some of the current crop of teachers that we have in this country, but the Nigerian story, right, it's a very difficult one to swallow because this is a country where teachers have been shouting for decades about poor remuneration, poor welfare services, and then there's also the issue of retirement payment. It's a plethora of things that just sometimes it befuddles the mind. Added to all of the governmental shortcomings, you now have a generation of people who are now bullying them, emotionally bullying them, physically bullying them, financially bullying them, because they are teachers. I still cannot wrap my head around the story from last week where the parent sat down in his car. It's not like the parent is the Oba of the universe. That's Oba of Benin, for example. Neither is the parent, the chief of the local government area or something. Even if he was, and the parent sat down in the car and told go and call your teacher for me. Precious is speaking to us from Rumumasi. Precious, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Jake.
Good morning.
Okay. I think first of all, we should ask the owners of the school what they start. Because if I employ a teacher, that teacher is under my care, to say. So if the teacher that is under my care is not able to bring to my table a parent that is bullying, then there's a problem, first of all. Then now, that parent that is bullying, if it happens like this the first time, there should be a warning. Maybe a second time, a standard warning. If it does happen again, then I think that child should be sent away from school, because I don't see why a teacher that is a passing knowledge to your child should be bullied whatsoever way. For that period while that in the care of the teacher can decide to do whatever which you will not know. And it's just like house helps that are being treated by owners of the houses. They take it out on the kids.
True. That's a possibility.
So I think it's the same thing. Teachers should be guarded in every respect. They're like the cooks in your kitchen and the guards at your gate. Anything can happen to your child.
They're like the cooks in your kitchen, the guards at your gate. Well said, Precious. Well said. Thank you very much. Great to have had you join us this morning. They are like the cooks in your kitchen and the guards at your gates. You may not recognize them, you may not see them as important, but boy, can they affect things around you. Now, Livinus Unjoku from Eche, this on WhatsApp, says societal decay could be traced to parental interference to deter teachers from disciplining their children at school. And this puts into danger the leadership quality of our future leaders, children of today. I don't bully teachers of my children at school. I'd rather do what Abraham Lincoln said to the teacher of his son. And I advise every parent to stop bullying teachers of their children at school. Stop bullying the teachers. I'm not saying it to be very erroneous of this broadcaster here to say, teachers are God sent. Every teacher, is an angel. No, they are bad teachers. Same ways they are bad doctors. Same ways they're bad, nurses. They're bad mechanics. They're bad drivers. You always have, an exception everywhere. But once again, see, I know I've read this letter. That's the Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher a few times on this program. But it is so apt. Till today, it is so apt. Teach the child the wonders of books, but also give them time to ponder the extreme mystery of birds in the sky. That means let them appreciate nature. That's what the teacher does. The teacher is meant to spark curiosity, to encourage curiosity, to build it, to fan it, to stoke the flames of the child's mind. I don't know about you, but I am blessed to have had some of the teachers who taught me in primary school, in secondary school, and also in university. I made mention of a few of them. I couldn't wait to come to school, particularly when I was in primary school. Then it was Mr. Henry, Uncle. Obviously, we used to call our teachers Uncle Henry, right? It was Uncle Henry back in primary 4, and then Uncle George in primary 5. This was Baritone back in those days. I couldn't wait to go to school. I don't know about you, but I wanted to go to, particularly with Uncle Eric. Is it Eric? Yeah, Eric. Sorry, not Henry. Eric. He was tall, dark. I think it was Ghanaian. I couldn't wait because he had a story to tell us every day. Apart from teaching us social studies and whatnot, he used to take like 10-15 minutes and just tell us some fantastic stories. Till today, I don't know if those stories were true, but guess what? Almost every time I'd go home, outside, I'll be like, Uncle Eric said this thing can happen. Let me check if it's in this tree. I'll climb the tree. Anyway, ignore me, please. Christian is speaking to us from Ada George. Christian, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, Jude, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. He asked me, I will want to force the dark letter by Abraham Lincoln. Just like I also forced one of his theories that has misled a lot of us today. The reason is simple. I listened to a person who called and spoke. Between Abraham Lincoln and the word of God, which one comes first? Because the moral code that was given to us is for parents to bring up their child in the way they will grow. And if that happens, that is the foundation. And if every parent has done what it's supposed to do, we will have good teachers, good doctors, because they are from the home. They are supposed to go to become good teachers.
Hello? Oh dear. Christian. Hello, Christian. Oh, Christian, apologies, please. If you can, I'd like to encourage you to call back. I want to get your thoughts. I want to get that train of thought completed. All right, moving on. Now it says this thing goes both ways. Last year or so, an actress, Mercy Johnson, talked about how a teacher who didn't like her was taking it out on her child to the point where the girl lost her confidence and was afraid to go to school. On the other hand, some people honestly think anyone who is less connected or moneyed is less than a human being. And that's how they raise their children. I think it was in 2016 that the DSS officers went into the Federal Government Girls College, Calabar, in broad daylight and beat up a teacher who flogged the student. It was all over the news. Nobody did anything. That's terrible. That's an abuse of power. Like, whoever you are, what justification is there for you to maybe call your orderlies? Like, say you are a military person or you're a police officer, and you go and physically, you know, if you want to make a punishment, if you think it's justified, why don't you go through the system? A lot of people don't realize if you go through the system, it can be very arduous and very vexing for anybody who is under the spotlight. Christian is back from Ada George. Christian, apologies for earlier on, please.
Yes, no problem. Like I was trying to say, I think between whatever Lincoln said and the word of the Almighty that admonished us, like, gave us a moral code on how we can bring up our children. And that lies in the 10 Commandments. Because if we have done that properly the way we are supposed to do, then we know that at other levels of our institutions, we have good human beings, people who are well brought up to begin to become teachers and the others. There's also I told you that I am not even comfortable with that Abraham Lincoln statement. That is concerned is economic theory, talking about resources being scarce and all that and all that. But if you look at it, indeed, the word of God says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pasture." Our resources indeed scarce. Resources for me is not scarce because the Almighty's providence is everywhere you look at. So because we are running with this Abraham Lincoln theory of economy that resources are scarce, and that's why we are killing ourselves for nothing. Because we are not even scratching the surface of what God has given us in nature, but because we have the theory that stands that resources are scarce, just like the way you're talking about the teacher, instead of talking about the homes, that is the first import of every human being on earth. We are talking about the homes. Children are not born in school. Children are born at schools, and that's why that moral code was given to us.
Okay, so Christian, let me ask you. Let's align with your process that, you know, children are born at home, obviously not in school, but they eventually get to school and they're meant to maybe be imbued with some level of information and whatnot, facts, and, you know, maybe moral codes it can be added upon. But now that we are seeing, and it's not just a Nigerian thing, now that we're seeing teachers being bullied or harassed globally, how do you think we should checkmate? In other countries, people are talking about legal actions, but what can we do here in Nigeria?
That's what I'm telling you. That we are in this position we are today because we didn't take care of the foundation, the roots, and that's why at this level now we're having this problem. So for me, if we have started by the roots, by training people well according to the instruction of the moral code, we wouldn't have arrived at this effect we are seeing today, having bad teachers and other things.
All right,
so the best thing for me, the solution lies if we only go back to the root.
To the root.
So what we ought to be in the first instance, so that we avoid the effect of what we are complaining today, having bad teachers and people who bully children. Because the teacher also comes from home. If the parent has brought him up, then he won't be a bad teacher.
All right, thank you very much. Zebulon on Facebook says, bullying is a common thing in schools today, including private schools in Nigeria. This needs to be seriously addressed, including parents that move their children from one private school to another. A child who doesn't want to change school because of the way the manner the teacher teaches was forced by her parents to stop seeing the teacher. Her parents came to her school and warned her teacher not to see her. The parents I'm talking about don't even have time for the child because of work. But when the teacher wants to explain to her parents about the needs of their daughter, the parents will embarrass the teacher. Well, there are different complaints coming through. I am a teacher. This is a Hopelin on Facebook. Says, I am a teacher. I would say in all my years of the profession, I have had my fair share on the conduct and misconduct of parents, especially as regards disciplining their children. Although some disciplinary action taken by some teachers could be sometimes extreme, nevertheless, situations like this should be handled following due protocol and not confronting or bullying teachers. When there is a form of bullying, the school management in partnership with other constitutional authorities should adequately discipline those violators according to the law. It says, I love the Lincoln's letter to the son's teacher. I'd like to appreciate if I can get it. Yeah, you can just Google it and it will pop up. Thank you, Nigeria Info. Just Google it, Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. It's a very, very popular letter. And yes, you can take it as under, take what you want, because that's one of the brilliant things about information. Not all of it might be for you, but you can filter what suits you and what you think is most appropriate. All right. Well, our bus has reached its stop. News comes up your way in just over 5 minutes and 15 seconds. My name is Jude. You have yourself a wonderful day. And if you're a teacher and a parent, take a personal stock of how you carry out your activities in your place of work, and also how you carry your activities in front of your children. Please don't bully people. Enjoy your day.
Stay with us.
Nigeria Info.
We'll be back.
All the goals, clashes,